those upcoming travel plans. There's so much going on travel-wise, whether you're traveling locally, traveling out of state by air, by car, whatever you're doing, we have you covered, because today we have Julian Paredes here with us from AAA talking about just kind of some of the trends we're seeing travel-wise. Safety. I think that it's so overwhelming this time of year because it's not only hot, but then there's monsoon and then there's traffic. So what do people need to know heading into the 4th of July?
Yeah, the number one thing to know is just it's just going to be really busy out there. So nationwide, we're talking more than almost 71 million people traveling, specifically in Arizona, about 1.5 million people. It's a lot of people to be on the road and at the airport in a pretty short period of time. Just whatever plans you're doing, get out the door early, give yourself a lot of time, plan for delays in traffic so you can have fun, and hopefully you'd stress out a little bit less during the commute. But yeah, it's going to be busy no matter where you're going.
And I think every year we talk about these numbers around holidays and people are like, yeah, well, obviously people are traveling. But this year you saw a significant increase from what we saw last year, correct?
Yeah, we saw about a 5% increase. And, during COVID, there was a pretty down year for a few years. Last year was extremely busy. We're pretty much back to normal, and it hasn't slowed down at all. So the last 2 years have been extremely busy when it comes to traveling. More people are driving than ever. More people are going to the airport than ever. Lots of people going on cruises, going to Europe. The entire travel industry has definitely bounced back, and it's just extremely busy right now.
And I think we do have a full screen of some of the 4th of July destinations. So this is where people are traveling specifically for the 4th of July, correct?
Yeah, so these are some of the top destinations. Obviously, if you can imagine how hot it is, lots of people want to go to the water.
Right.
Mexico, Southern California, Florida's a really top destination. But anywhere with access to water around Arizona, it's going to be busy. Bigger vacations, a lot of people going on cruises. So the Pacific Northwest and Alaska are going to be big destinations. International travel is extremely popular right now. So Europe is also a top destination. But if you're going to the water, everybody's got the same idea. So you want to give yourself a lot of time, find a nice spot, plan for delays, plan for things to be really busy. Because it is really hot right now.
Especially in Arizona, I feel like a lot of people make that trip over to San Diego or that kind of area, Southern California, like we're seeing there. So expecting delays on any of those major freeways to get out there this weekend and into next week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to be really busy. But hopefully, if you give yourself a lot of time, don't have to stress out too much, and you can just focus on the holiday and have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I know that travel's the worst part, and once you get through that, you're like, oh, I'm done until I have to go back home. So travel-wise on the roads, I know you brought something here with you today. So what is this kit that you have with you, and why is it so important?
Yeah, so I have a little roadside emergency kit. It's really important just because it is so hot. You don't want to be stranded on the side of the road right now. And AAA is anticipating almost 800,000 people across the country going to be needing help. Nobody really plans or expects to have a breakdown, but it does happen. So you want to have something like this. Maybe have a case of water, paper maps, extra phone chargers, food and snacks. Hope for the best, plan for the worst when it comes to traveling. Again, nobody really expects a breakdown, but it does happen. Check your tires, check your car battery. Those are the most common reasons why people call AAA. And if you do that right now, you could spare yourself a big headache when it comes to traveling, potentially.
And I think when people think of AAA, they're like, oh, well, I'm covered. If something happens on the road, I have AAA. But because you're seeing such an uptick in travel over the next few days and over the next week, are people going to see delays in response time to any of those potential calls?
Well, this is pretty much all hands on deck for AAA.
Yeah.
We know how busy things get, but people travel all across the state. It's hard to predict how long wait times are going to be. You want to be prepared for anything, and no matter what situation it is, it's not going to be like that. So you want to at least have a little bit of water, have some kind of preparation ready just for the wait time. No matter how long it is. Because you don't want to be stranded in the triple digits for really any period of time,
right?
Any water or anything like that.
Yeah, and when you think about that too, because you don't want to sit in your hot car on the side of the road, maybe even those little portable lawn chairs and umbrellas somewhere that you can go off the side of the road and not be sitting in your car in that heat, because it's dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous. So get your car checked out right now, or you could do stuff at home just to give yourself a little basic preparation. That can really go a long way in making sure you get to your destination safely.
Now, are you traveling for the 4th of July?
No, I wish I was.
Yeah, me too. We talk about this, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time off, but.
But I might go to a barbecue. That's usually a fun thing. But some people have big and small vacations. But I'm going to be working, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Me and you both. If you were to travel, though, what would be your number one tip, the number one thing that you would be doing ahead of time to prepare?
You know, a lot of people are going on cruises right now. I do a lot of stories about cruises, and I myself have never been on a cruise, but it sounds fun. I'm kind of like, now I'm interested in cruises
Yeah.
because I talk about it so much. And there's a lot of really great deals, and yeah, there's a lot of really amazing destinations. It's not just, you might think of it as just kind of like, you know, family stuff, but there's actually cruises for people who are adventurous, younger people. If you want
Yeah.
to go to like exotic islands, small cruises that aren't as crowded, there's actually a lot of really great options for that now.
Yeah, cruises are fun. I went on a cruise and I ate 76 soft serve ice cream cones the week that I was on that cruise. So definitely something for everybody.
Yeah.
Lots of ice cream to offer. So what do you think is like the number one thing that people need to keep in mind for 4th of July travel? How can they be prepared?
As simple as it is, just give yourself a lot of time and get out the door early in the morning. So you want to avoid 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's going to be the rush hour. So next week you're going to have a lot of people who are just doing their normal work commute, and on top of, you know, thousands or, you know, hundreds of thousands of people also going to holiday. So there's going to be a lot of people sharing the road all at the same time. Wednesday is definitely going to be the biggest commute day, but because the holiday lands on a Thursday, it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So the entire week is going to be busy, and then Sunday and Monday after the holiday are also going to be, that's the big return day for a lot of people. Those are also going to be really busy. That whole week's going to be busy, so get out the door as early as possible. Avoid the 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. hours if you can, just because that's going to be the busiest.
Yeah, and it's going to be the hottest too.
Yeah.
And driving in the heat, there's nothing like being stuck on like the Gila reservation on that stretch of road in the heat. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that. Well, I appreciate you being here today. And of course, people can head to the website as well for some more information. Actually, one thing we do want to touch on real quick, gas prices.
Yeah.
Because people obviously have been talking about gas. We're starting to see some positive changes though.
Yeah, gas prices across Arizona, Pima County, it's in the $3.50 range right now, which is actually really, really nice. Compared to last year, gas prices were so expensive. We were like up above $4 for
Yeah.
like almost $5 for some points. Whatever problems we had last year, not happening right now. So at least for the holiday, you can expect gas prices to be around the same level, around $3.50, which is really nice. You could probably
Yeah.
save a little bit of money if you are doing a road trip.
Okay, and people hearing that now might be, you know, more willing to go on a road trip. They're like, okay, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Go on a road trip.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. And they can head to your website again, AAA, for more
Yeah.
information. And you can put in a zip code to see things specific to Arizona as well,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and if you are a AAA member, you want to check out the AAA app. It actually help you find things, you know, destinations, things to do. And if you do need help, it's actually a little bit faster to use the AAA app than just going on the phone. So download that before your trip.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for being here today.